This took longer than I thought it would to cut out, so I think I'm gonna make a part 3 eventually. This is the second part of a potentially 3-part series on how to make a Godsword. If you haven't seen the first one, go ahead and do that first. Now for this part of the project, we're gonna need a couple of different items. The main of which is one 60x40 foam board, which I was able to find in my Hobby Lobby. It's a gigantic piece of foam board, costs 10 bucks, or at least roughly there, 10.40 what I paid. I was getting the template, which you'll see I'll be making throughout this video. I hated doing it. It actually took an hour just to do that itself. You will also need something to cut with, like an X-Acto knife or a box cutter. Poster board, that's just for the template itself, so it has better structure, so you don't have to use what I did. Some tape, and a pen for tracing. Now the first thing you're going to want to do for this giant piece of poster board is just cut it in half, just lengthwise. It'll end up being 2 pieces of 20x60, and that'll be what we use for the multiple layers. I clearly did not have enough space in my normal area where I work at, so I switched over to the kitchen table, and I put my crafting mat underneath so that when I cut it with the box cutter, it doesn't leave any scratches. Now the next step I needed to do was just get that piece of foam board, or both of them, create a template for it. I never shown drawing a template for this, and luckily, instead of just using regular paper I did, it is December right now, so I'll just use some, some wrapping paper, and underneath it comes with a nice, just convenient 1x1 inch just squares for measuring. Really helps out. Just cut out a 20x60, and then the rest I'm just going to use to wrap up a gift for my friend. Any sort of thin paper or even foam board would work as perfect for a template. My only issue with wrapping paper, while it's really cheap just to get rolls of it, like probably like $1 to get like 10 feet, it's very thin and can rip really easily, so cutting it out counts kind of a bitch. But we got it, don't worry. The link is in the description. You don't have to worry about it. It sucked for me. And after about 30 minutes, I believe 40, I got my template correct, and then it started to look pretty good. I adjusted it at this point. But you'll be doing the same thing. You'll print it out, and then you'll be putting it together. It'll most likely be in 4 to 5 parts since it is so long. And you're going to be transferring it to a poster board, and then you're going to transfer that poster board template onto a foam board. And this becomes the hardest part of the whole project, just because it's so much goddamn cutting and small little nooks and crannies. I love this like the design of the sword because of how impractical and how dumb and just how ridiculous it is. But having to cut this out was such a bitch. I hated it. And the issue doesn't really end once you finish cutting one, because if you want to make this stronger using foam board, if you use wood, you're fine. It'll be like more structurally sound, and you probably use a bandsaw. The issue is, if you want to make it more structurally sound, you have to cut out another one. And that's why I'm going to make a part 3, because I am already really mad about this first one. I'm really happy with the end result though. And this is where I'm going to end the video, only because I have given you the template, and now is a good time so that you can make your own template and start applying it to yourself. Painting and any of the other sort of mistakes that I made in this video will be addressed in the next one. Thanks for watching, and take it easy.